And welcome to the channel, everybody. It's that time again. Time for a live stream. So Nick Brown, saw you live early on in the chat. Love to see you there. Appreciate you, my man. Triple Z, same. Happy Sunday to you as well. Damon, how you doing, man? So a few things. First off, we are going. First off, you can see a big, beautiful werewolf by night right there. I'm gonna be really shooting for him tomorrow on the main account. We have been saving 3 Mystic Nexus crystals for Mystic Abyss Nexus crystals, more appropriately, for particularly this man hitting the pool. I'm going to be starting Act 8.1 this week myself, Damon. So, congratulations on that. I'm going to be working on that this week on the main account. I haven't really played the Wii U, Nick Brown, so I couldn't really tell you which one I think is better. I will tell you, sounds louder than I want it to, and I don't know how loud it sounds for you guys, so it's getting turned down. Yeah, I'm gonna be pushing Act 8 on the main account this week, but I'm also gonna be live a lot more this week, so I thought we'd be pushing a few things. As you can see, I'm on the backup account, actually the little account, the one we started after 4th of July deals, which has still remained free to play all this time. And I think it's about time that we start talking about going Thronebreaker on this account. As a matter of fact, it's probably beyond time we start talking about going Thronebreaker. But there is a level up event on, and I am out of ISO and need to grab a few things so that I can finish leveling up everybody to start making the push. As you guys can see, I've got a pretty decent 6 and 7-star roster on here already. And quite a bit of anything I could possibly need to make this push. There are a few that I am missing, but I think we need to push for Thronebreaker this week. But before we do that, I'd like to clear up Act 5, so that I can grab as much as possible and get ready for it. Also got Act 8.3 completion yesterday, so now I got 100. Nice. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a bigger push on that, like I said, this week. As a matter of fact, I got a little bit of unplanned time off this week. So, can I see your champions on the account, please, Wolf, and have a chance to show you me, please? Thanks. Yeah, I can show you again. I have, I showed you the 6 and the 7 stars. I've got quite a few 5 stars that are still mixing into the bunch that are still relevant that we can use. Gerald, nice to see you. How's it going? Alliance is filling up now. That's awesome, Damon. I'm actually doing some recruitment on mine at the moment. We brought in a group of people that just didn't pan out. So I need to be looking for a few more. But yeah, I've got most anything I could possibly need for either in a 5 or a 6-star variety. And I do have the 2 7 stars on this roster already. Now, mind you, this is the baby account, by all means. Our last 4 people joining tomorrow. Congratulations on that. Yes, 7-star Thanos. And the 7-star Moondragon. This account did really well during Banquet. 665 for AQ. 665 for AQ. Nice. Yeah, we're looking to be running either 776 or possibly 876 or ideally 886. But I need to be bringing some people in right now so that we can fill some spots. So that is something. If anybody is high enough to be looking at that, you need to be at least Thronebreaker and pushing for Paragon, but preferably we'd prefer people in Paragon. Um, but yeah, feel free to reach out to me on line chat. Information for that is in the description. So we are going to go ahead and 100% Act 5 tonight, or as much of it as I can. I'm probably going to stream for about 4 hours tonight. Like I said, I did end up with a bit of Act 6 is a rough one for me. It's definitely difficult. Nick Brown, we can talk and I can help you with that. I've helped quite a few people get through Act 6. It is the most difficult in all of story mode to get through. And I will be pushing Act 6 this week as well as pushing Act 8 on the main account. I'm like 11k tier 6 cosmic fragments short of taking 6-star Herc to rank 5. Nice. I've debated on whether or not to ever take him to rank 5. I've kept him at rank 4 so far. But he does so much work even at rank 4. On the main account, my first cosmic I took up was Cosmic Ghost Rider for rank 5. Yeah, I can understand that. He clears a lot for a lot of people. As you can see, I'm even using the 5-star on this account because, well, he clears a lot for a lot of people. But I am bringing up quite a few champions here right now that I'm, as soon as they're bigger than him, then they're gonna end up in. Yeah, I've got mine at rank 4 Sig 200 myself. On the main account, at least. But I've got plenty of resources on this, so we can definitely knock out most of Act 5, if not all of it tonight. And then we will finish it up and start pushing through the rest of Act 6 throughout the week this week. So I kind of just decided to do a kind of a relaxed stream tonight, anyways. Billy Burrett, how's it going? Nice to see you. Just because I knew it'd be a mix between people who were and weren't watching the Super Bowl tonight, anyways. Um, but like I said, we're gonna be live a lot more this week. I'm also gonna be working on videos quite a bit this week. Out of nowhere, I got told that I had the week off. So I am officially in the market, and I had already started before I got told this. That I am looking for a new job. They'd already hit the final straw for me, and they'd hit it quite a bit before. Hey, bro, listen, I need help with Act 6. Do you have it? Yeah, man, I got plenty of advice. Like I said, hit me up on either line chat or Discord, preferably line chat. Let me look at your roster and see where you're at, and I can definitely help you out with it. Deadpool trailer is out, and yeah, I saw it actually. So glad Disney didn't screw with. They can't. They understand that. That is the one thing that I do think that they definitely do understand. Is there are certain basic elements of that character that you just cannot change. You can't PG Deadpool. And I realized they tried PG in a lot of stuff long before Deadpool that they shouldn't have. But Deadpool just like, especially after how wrong the character went in X-Men Wolverine Origins and how big Ryan Reynolds has been a hit playing the character to its fullest potential, they couldn't possibly think that they were even going to sell a single ticket if they tried to PG him. And they proved that again with that Deadpool 2.5 or whatever, 1.5, whatever it was, the one where they tried to PG him for a single movie and direct to video, and yeah, it didn't go over well. But yeah, so like I said, you guys might notice the shirt tonight. I promised you guys early on in the channel that when my time with the current driving job was coming to an end, I would tell everybody who I actually work for and the entire stories of everything. And this week, we're going to do exactly that. I am going to work on content. We're going to get videos out. We're going to live stream multiple times this week. And we're going to talk about the company I spent the last 3 years working for and how I am leaving this company and currently in the market for a different job. Um, which I'm not worried about whatsoever. I fully expect that we will be coming up with something fairly soon. I've got quite a few feelers out already. Definitely going to make things a bit tighter than what I had planned. But to be truthful with you, the current company I've been working for was doing that for me anyways. Um, I have been working for this company for nearly 3 years now. I have worked for countless companies over the years. Let me give you an idea for Act 6. Now I could use the champion boost. I know that if I boost my champions to higher numbers, that's my idea. Um, that's not going to be enough, Nick. It's not necessarily about just having big enough champions for Act 6. Act 6 is where things start becoming very specific on you need to have the right counters for specific paths. Some champions will not work whatsoever on certain paths in Act 6. So you need to be making sure that you're scouting and that you have a decent diversity to your roster. And that you are using the correct champions because there are certain things in Act 6 where certain champions can't even do damage depending on where you're at. So you need to take those kind of things into consideration uh, when you're looking to get through Act 6. It's very doable and it's not nearly as hard as it sounds. But like I said, you do need to make sure that you have all the right counters, that you're picking your pass based off of the roster you have. It becomes more intensive and skill based from this point forward. But getting through Act 6 and becoming Thronebreaker, once you do that, becoming Paragon becomes very easy. But as I was talking about the job I've worked for, um, I've never worked for a company that has cut my pay until now. And not only has this company cut my pay once in 3 years that I've worked for them, they have actually cut my pay 8 times in the 3 years that I worked for them. As a matter of fact, when I moved out here to Washington, um, I finally was able to start getting back to making what I was making when I was getting by well in Iowa. Um, they were actually paying 27 cents a minute for wait time at the location that I was working at. And order numbers were pretty decent. But they a few weeks ago cut that 27 cents down to 26 cents. You know, that doesn't sound like a major thing until you realize that's 60 cents an hour less. And this is considering I pay for my own gas. I pay for all my own vehicle maintenance. Most people feel the exact same way about Act 6, Nick. There are not a lot of people who have went back and revisited Act 6. Again, like I said, it is literally some of the toughest content in the entire game. Things will get more difficult in a lot of ways in some other areas. But like even Necropolis, in spite the fact that yes, it's technically harder than Act 6, it is so much more fun than Act 6 is. So 2 weeks ago, they turned around and cut us from 26 cents a minute to 19 cents a minute. So an 8 cents per minute decrease in pay as the state of Washington passes the highest minimum wage in the nation. Do you have any advice for Labyrinth of Legends? Because I want to complete that. I have not done Labyrinth of Legends yet, honestly. That is something that is on my list for the next couple months. But no, I have not done it yet myself. Is there something particular you're trying to get out of Labyrinth? Because I will also say this: a lot of the rewards are not as valuable as they once were. So I want to thank everybody for the 6 likes on stream so far. I know that there's a lot of people doing Realm of Legends. Do you have any advice for it? Did I just do? Yeah, I just did Realm of Legends. That's right. Honestly, one of the best characters for that is Aegon, because you can ramp him up over the fights. Pretty much that any character that has a long ramp up gets really well for a lot of that type of content. But most of those type of characters, you do need them awakened and max sig. Yeah, I just did Realm of Legends a few weeks ago for the first time. Um, Surprisingly enough. Okay, that's what I missed. Okay, gotcha. But if you want to stay tuned this week, Nick Brown, like I said, I will be doing Act 6 throughout the week on this account. So you can look at some of the different champions and some of the different paths I take. Or else I have videos on the first time I went through Act 6 on the channel if you want to go watch some of those. They'll give you some ideas on what particular champions you need and for the paths that I covered in the for those. So yeah, we're really going to be pushing this week. I probably won't live stream a lot of the stuff that I do on the main account because most of those will be need to be videos that I'm making so I can do the breakdowns for Act 8. We may do some side quest stuff and stuff like that on 1 or 2 nights this week. But I will obviously have the crystal opening tomorrow. Um, a lot of the events of this week pushed off how much I could between that and being sick last weekend. Pushed off a lot on the finally getting the recap video done, but now we have nothing but time, so we're going to go ahead and get that done. And then, like I said, I'm going to start working on Act 8 throughout the week and getting those videos put together and out. And then after that, like I said, I think most of the live stream time, unless I'm doing a battlegrounds push or possibly an incursions run, because I do still need to do sector 5 and 6, because I've gotten 1 through 4 done. Um, then I will, yeah, most of that stuff will be, you know, battlegrounds. I might do some arena this week. I don't. I mean, I could go for photon, but probably not going to do that. We may do some arena. We're going to do some arena for battle chips and units because I'm definitely going to need more of both of those to make the full push. But we are definitely going to be working on Act 8 and simultaneously working on getting Thronebreaker on at least one account, possibly two this week. So it honestly may break down on how many more different paths that I'm able to get through, um, and what paths I can possibly do further breakdowns of based off of the fact that this one and the other account both have a very big difference on what champions they have available to them as opposed to what the main account has. Um, so we'll have to take a deep dive into looking at that over the week. And obviously, a lot of that's also going to revolve around, I'm going to spend some time getting applications and other things taken care of this week so that we can keep from having too much go sideways. But we have been in worse positions and we have a lot of opportunities right now. And we are going to bring everything back and we're going to make the most of this time and it'll kind of make up for the fact that I had to go so long without being able to spend a lot of time hanging out with you guys, and now I can spend a good solid week, possibly a little more, hanging out with you guys a lot more. So, balance the scales. Or at least that's how we're going to look at it. So let's see. First, we got half an hour into the stream, and we are already one chapter 100%ed. So, looking good there. Let's keep it going. See, like I said, how far we can get on this, and some of it I may do off stream. Obviously, this is mostly just prep work for going into Act 6. I knew, like I said, there wouldn't be as many people on hanging out tonight. Um, Obviously, the biggest thing in the world right now is the Super Bowl, um, between Taylor Swift and the game itself. So, but I promised you guys from the get go that we would live stream every Sunday, and outside of the few months it took for us to get moved, we have done exactly that. So we can keep the tradition, keep pushing on things, and let the big people do the thing for the date, and then we'll just make up for our time the rest of the week. So I will be here, like I said, all week long doing different pushes on different things. Definitely want to get finished up with quite a bit on all three accounts. Was a little worried about if I was going to have enough time to do anything on the small accounts this month, and now we just got an opportunity that not only can we do something, but we can actually make some real progress and maybe help a few people out in the process of doing so. So if you're struggling on becoming Thronebreaker or anything like that, let's go ahead and take a look at it together this week, because I'm going to get at least one more account there, if not two. So I should probably be doing it with the other account first. This one is going to be the one that gets it done with first. So. I want to thank everybody again for all the likes on the stream. Already 7 likes on the stream. That's great, guys. I know, again, this isn't going to be one of our bigger nights, but it'll definitely be a good night for us. Just realized something that I need to fix real quick. I want to thank everybody who has stopped in tonight and hung out for any kind of time. It is always appreciated. I know that there are plenty of places to be and activities to be social in tonight. And if I had a little extra money, maybe I might be out doing them. But since I don't, and since one of my favorite places to be, anyways, is here hanging out with you guys, let's get some gameplay on. Let's get some things cleared. Let's hurry up and get to the point where I have more than one account above Thronebreaker. Eventually, we're going to get a Valiant account. I'm going to be working on that very soon, too. Little sneak preview. That's how we do it. Yeah, boo boo. So, But yeah, guys, like I said, I'm going to be pushing Act 8 this week on the main account. I'm going to be pushing um, for Thronebreaker on the newest account. And depending on how much it takes us to get to Thronebreaker on the newest account, then we may also be pushing for Thronebreaker on the second account. And then we'll have to decide which one of those is going to get to go to Paragon first. It'll probably be the other one. This one will probably hit Thronebreaker first, but that one will probably hit Paragon first. Mostly because I think I might actually already have a rank 4 on that one. Now, I do have 3 rank 3s on this one. So, as soon as we get through the content, we have everything in line that we need to be able to go ahead and push for it. So, like I said, guys, I'm just looking for a little bit more cushioning and maybe a champion or two that I don't currently have. So we're going to go ahead and on a night that I know a lot of people are busy with the Super Bowl, just kind of hang out and not finish out Act 5 and take these resources and use them to go start doing the push to Thronebreaker. Kind of interested how no one is watching me considering I'm currently watching me. But sure, let's see how that works. So, gotta love analytics. But if anyone has anything else that they are currently working on, feel free to message me and let me know. If you're looking for any help on anything, feel free to let me know. We did do our first members giveaway last weekend for the merch, which is now live in the store. Feel free to jump over and check that out. The store is tagged in the pinned comments. It is also in the description of the video, so feel free to check out that link if you're interested in any kind of support for myself and the channel. Kind of curious who all else is actually do live tonight. I know Didi was live earlier, but I know he's headed off to work already. Rizzo was live earlier, but I don't. Looks like he may still be going. I think Abdo may be watching the game. Honestly, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are watching the game tonight. But for those who have chosen to stop in and hang out for any amount of time, I do want to say thank you very much so. I know that you could be watching the game, going to see if Taylor made her flight, which I think I saw something about she did. I don't know. One of those things. One of them things. I used to care a lot about football. I used to watch it constantly. Just not as big of a fan as I used to be. Nothing wrong with the game. I still absolutely love it. I don't have the passion for it that I once did. Now, mind you, that might get cured next season. Just because, first off, actually living in a city with a professional team in it, But also on top of that, if there is any chance that there happens to be a Seattle Denver game that I could possibly go to, that would be phenomenal. Or even just getting to a game in general because I've never been to a professional football game in my life. Could be really cool. It could really honestly respark things. Um, but we'll have to see how this year plays out. See what opportunities get presented, and see if that ends up being a thing that I get to do. Um, I got a lot of goals for this year, and entertainment isn't necessarily a high on the priority list. At least not my own personal entertainment. Obviously, I always try and be semi entertaining for you guys, though sometimes I guess I am my own entertainment. Um, but that happens, you know. We got those moments. I get it. Like I said, we always know that there's going to be time periods where others are streaming or that there's the biggest game of the year on, and we might have to take a back seat for a moment. But when that happens, we just keep pushing. Just keep doing what we're going to do. We initiate a plan and we keep going. May not always be the best plan. It may not be always be the only plan, but it is a plan, and as long as we're working towards our goals, then we know we're doing good. So, and honestly, if my timing's correct, by the time I get done streaming tonight, hopefully the Super Bowl will be over, and maybe some people will stop by towards the end. So, could probably honestly be auto fighting these, and if chat were more active tonight, then I probably would have. But that was also kind of the point of how this was going to go. Was, you know, the idea that if there was enough people here, we could just hang out and let this run itself, and I would, you know, talk to you guys. If there wasn't, then I'd do the work, save myself some potions and revives, and for the harder content, and just kind of get through it while I kind of build up some time and hang out and do what we're gonna do. And most of you may have noticed that I didn't necessarily put out a push notification tonight like I normally do, letting everybody know when I go live on all the platforms that I normally notify everybody. Again, like I said, tonight's the Super Bowl. I get where people's priorities are. So I, you know, let everybody do what they're doing and have their fun. And if anybody wants to stop over and hang out, you'll find me. Ooh, hey, that reminds me, I should be running an XP boost right now. But that's part of what I was hoping for tonight as well, is kind of picking up some more mastery points and finally getting this account up to level 60. Um, and that saves me an energy. It saves me some units on energy refills as well, right there. So that reminds me, like I said, I just realized I wasn't running that at the moment. But this is the other kind of push as well before I do Act 6, is I was kind of hoping to be able to really set out my entire mastery setup. And that's a lot easier if I have all the points. So while we have time, why not just go ahead and push through, get the rewards, get the XP, and get myself pushed up as high as possible. And then I can do a mastery rework before tomorrow, and tomorrow we can start pushing X6. Because I should be through Act 5 by tonight. And if not, I'll auto run it in the morning and be through Act 5 before we go live. Hope everybody's gotten all of their points out of the Golden Dragon event. And also the Love event and every other event that's going on right now. I think I've gotten most of them out of almost all of them on this account already. Obviously, I haven't done any of the side quest stuff yet, but we will do that closer to the end of the run. Because we do have plenty of time to get to those. That is one of the things that I'm definitely going to be working on the main account over the next couple of weeks. Alongside with obviously Act 8, whether or not I get to the event quest this month or not, I've done part of it. I've done most of the lower level ones. But obviously, I'm not really keen on using resources that I could be using on actually making progression. I think it's one of the things that a lot of people get caught up in is the big shiny things in the side quests, or the event quest. Hey Nick, how's it going? Welcome back. And then they forget that the overall long haul of getting through story mode can actually do more for your account long run than any short quest rewards. Now, that being said, like I said, I hope everybody did still get the Golden Dragon event stuff done because that one was just simple and it didn't matter. You could get through that easily enough, as well as those tickets are absolutely valuable for pushing. Are you going to fight the Collector Wolf in this stream? No, not this stream. I will be doing it this week, though. Looks like we got a Rizzo raid coming in. Rizzo, how's it going, my man? Nice to see you. Radical, Gerald, Truth Comic, GMA, Foes. Nice to see you all. Appreciate that, Rizzo. Yeah, go ahead. If you guys got a chance, smash that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, we are pushing the 1,000 subscriber mark really close. So anyone who'd like to subscribe is definitely overwhelmingly appreciated. I am going to be going for Thronebreaker on my little account this week. So we're finishing up Act 5 to farm out the last couple champions that I might need for a couple pass. Um, so I figured why not do it on a Sunday night that most people are watching the Super Bowl. But we will definitely be pushing the bigger stuff, Act 6, as well as we're going to be working on Act 8. Snakey, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh man, got ass kicked over and over. Man, that sucks, bro. But it's always a good time when you're doing it with the friends and family. So You know, the collector boss battle that's Act 5. Oh, yeah. If I get to him tonight, then I probably will. My plan, like I said, I'm going to go for about 4 hours tonight. So the plan is to get it 100%. Um, if I can do that in 4 hours, we will see how many times we face him tonight. So, so close to 1,000 subs. Yeah. You know the yeah. But yeah, this is one of those things when you're running 3 accounts. Occasionally, you got to go back and do some of the stuff that you already took care of quite some time ago, and do it a little bit differently than you did the first time. Definitely was not fighting these fights with a 7 star the first time that I did them. I will tell you that much. But yeah, we will be, like I said, we'll be taking a good look at what getting through Act 6 looks like in 2024 compared to what it's looked like in the past, which has, I mean, we just did it last year on a different account. So you struggled on the quest I'm doing right now. I can see that. Honestly, with where this account is at right now, there shouldn't be a single level all the way through the rest of Act 5 that we even remotely struggle on, especially since the nerf. Um, but the resources are so good that's there, that it is definitely worth picking up the 100% on this to use those resources towards doing that first push on Act 6. Plus, like I said, we're picking up a ton of ISO here, and I am completely out of ISO at the moment, which makes level up a little hard to do at the moment. But that's another one in the books already, so we're just going to keep it going. I know there's a couple of these levels that are a little shorter to get through. Um, so we'll see how long it takes us to get through as much as we can. Like I said, we'll be going for about another 3 hours tonight just to push through as much as possible. And then, like I said, I got extra free time this week, so we will be live more this week than we have been in months, and be dropping videos left and right. So, um, we'll be doing the crystal opening tomorrow. The recap will finally come out on Tuesday. I know I've said that in the past, but again, like I said, after I get done with stream tonight, I'm gonna eat, probably work on a couple of small things, and then tomorrow it's hardcore grind. It's, you know, a couple hours, a few hours a day of putting in. Uh, is that a rank 5 ascended herc? Yes, it is. Rank 5 5 star ascended herc doing the work on an account with 2 7 stars that isn't even Thronebreaker yet. That is, yes, where we are at. Um, Definitely not nearly as good of a representation on, but at the same time, still too, honestly. And we'll be doing it again. We've done it several times, once already, but we'll be doing it again, proving how quickly you can actually grow a brand new account on this game compared to any other time in history. And yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I've only had this account since July of last year, and we already have 3 rank 3 6 stars on here. We have rank 5 ascended 5 stars on here. We have 2 7 stars on here. Um, it's ridiculous if you take advantage of things at the right time. And I'm not even talking about spending because this account has been 100% free to play. I have not spent a single dime on this account, and I have no intention of doing so. Mostly because spending's gotten out of control on the other accounts before, and I'm not chancing at getting a third account into the mix. If we ever do a spending account again, it will be because the channel gets to a point that I can do an old school Brian Grant type challenge where we literally stream for an entire week and buy out the entire store along the way. And on that day, you guys will hear thank you more times than you have ever heard before, because getting to the point that I can stream like that consistently would make me so happy. Yeah, it's ridiculous compared to, like, I remember getting excited, every time I got a chance to dupe a 4 star. And it would take, a month at a time, and even by the time 5 stars came out, like, it would take you 2 3 4 even up to 6 months to get another 5 star. And the anticipation. These days, like, I will open, I think, 6 stars tomorrow. And that's not even counting all the crystals that can possibly be 6 stars. Those are just the ones that will definitely be 6 stars. Oh no, I agree. They definitely, like, here, hi, we know that you're 9 years behind. Catch up today. And in a lot of ways, that is very good. Sorry, guys. Because you can get that roster, but, like, I was talking to Jakey earlier, on DD's stream, and, like, there's so many things that right now he would like to do. Um, obviously, like, Winter of Woe just came out. He knows he can't do Necropolis because he doesn't have the roster for it. But the thing about it is that, he made it all the way to Paragon in just a couple months' time. But he doesn't have the roster, he doesn't have the rank up material. All of that stuff is time. My main account now was my second account. In 18 months time, I will be Valiant at the end of Act 8. Wow. Yeah, raids do a lot too. Um, we have one group for sure going into raids, but we have to do some recruiting because we brought in a group of people that just didn't work out for us. So I am currently looking for 8 people that are able to handle at least map 7 and are raid ready. So if anybody's looking for an alliance, feel free to hit me up, because I do have some spots right now. Um, but I mean, I've got the little alliance too, and that's this one is I'll be pushing quite a bit over here too. But no, I mean Raid Shadow Legends. Oh yeah, yeah, I know. I see their promo codes all the time. Here, have 8 legendary champions today. All you gotta do is log in for the first week. And I get it. It is one of those things that a lot of people, when they see how big everybody else is, they don't understand the time and they get discouraged. But there's a lot of skill that's missed out on by not taking that time. There's a lot of resources that you're not realizing how to manage by missing out on that time. So, eh, it's a give or take. Because, I mean, even when you do get to the Paragon title, yeah, you get resources faster at that point, but you need them so much more that even though you're getting them faster, you're going through them faster than you can possibly get them. Now, on the other hand, by taking years to come up, more often than not, am I setting on a batch of resources the second I have the need for them? I mean, now on the other hand, if you need someone to fill for a while, I can. That would be awesome, Radical. I would absolutely appreciate that. Um, Hit me up on line chat if you would, and I can talk to you about details on that. Yeah, that one didn't go well. Come on, there we go. Couldn't get a good intercept for nothing. What the hell you mean not being able to pull a Sherpins? Okay. Yeah, no, because like even on this account, like I have great champions. I have a ton of abilities on this account. I'm struggling to keep up with enough ISO to level everybody up. Now, obviously, I could fix that if I wanted to just spend, 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 spend. But that's not going to happen. But who has time to play 2 accounts? Not me, even to help support other of the crew. I actually play 3 accounts. I play 3 accounts, uh, run 2 alliances, the YouTube channel. Um, I've been working 50 to 60 hours a week for months on end. Um, yeah. Yeah, it's I'll admit it. but it is interesting too because it forces me to use more variety of champions than I would only running a single account. To be truthful with you, I mean, I have Moondragon on my main account. I don't use her nearly as much. Um, Part of the reason Necropolis went so smoothly for me is because I'm not saying it was like extremely smooth by any means, but it definitely was a lot of fun. Um, my second account, my biggest champion on that account is Aegon, so I play him all the time. Right, my second account hasn't been touched in 2+ years now. I don't know. I just have not been able to give up on any of the accounts I've started yet. I started the first one over 8 years ago, which is the main account, obviously. About 6 years ago, I decided to see what it would be like to start a second account, and there's been times where it's been just log in, collect dailies, and log out on that account. But I've always kept it at least somewhat active. And then in July last year, after 4th of July, I decided to start this one for the channel. And the plan was to run it until Banquet and then walk away from it. And well, being that it's February, we can see how well that went. Yeah. You can look at my old account now if you want Radical Genius in the search bar. Okay, I'll do that. Give me just a second to finish to do this next fight, and we'll take a break and look at that real quick for a moment. So let's jump over and take a look at that real quick. Now, obviously, this isn't the alliance that needs people as much. Um, so we're just going to look at it real quick. No, it's not case sensitive, so. Nice. Oh, I know what I did. Nice, man. Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, man. If you're interested in playing that account at all, like I said, I got a spot for you for sure. I could definitely use your help in the alliance. No, I put a space at the end. That was what the problem was. But yeah, like I said, man, and the account looks great. If you're interested in bringing it out of retirement and doing some map 7 or even map 8 and possibly some raids, especially if you're willing to do raids, um, I got a spot for you. I do need you to have line chat though, because we use it for especially for communication. But we how we've been doing raids is we have everybody get into their groups and get on a call when they're doing their moves. It worked out really well for us the first time. Sorry, guys. I've had a bit of a cough for over a week now. I felt like crap last weekend, really bad, which I have gotten over since. Um, 49ers going to win. Well, I guess that ruins a lot of conspiracy theories, huh? I was actually just talking about a little bit ago that like I was a huge football fan my whole life, and I kind of just I dropped off after doing fantasy football for a while, and just really haven't gotten back into it. But now that I live in a city with a professional team and everything, um, honestly, I might get back into it. Um, Especially if I could get a chance to see a Seahawks Broncos game live, because I've never been to a professional football game. I've been to 3 professional baseball games in my lifetime, but never a professional football game. So I think that might be what would be something that would get me back into it. But we're gonna have to see how quite a bit of things play out this next year before we get back to the season and see if that's even a possibility. Um, I know. Um, yeah, I mean, first off, I'm going to be changing jobs here shortly, and then obviously we've got quite a bit going on with the channel here, which should make quite a bit possible. As a matter of fact, I know I've already been invited to Mariners game the weekend of the meetup, which, by the way, if anyone is not aware, April 27th, if you are in the Seattle area, there is going to be a meetup with myself, the Intoxicated Gamer, Abido, Panda Man Pete, um, possibly Brian Grant, as well as several others. It is not officially Kabam sponsored by any means, but it is going to be one of those things where you can come out and meet myself and a few other bigger YouTubers, and just kind of hang out with us. But also, apparently, that weekend on Friday, there is a Mariners game that I have been invited to go to as part of that as well. Um, Got to work out details and see if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to be able to do that or not. But it definitely would be a lot of fun. Overtime, really? Wow. Taylor Swift's boyfriend will have to try again another year. Oh, I swear this is probably the most like I don't know. I it's the world's getting interesting these days. Dang, spoke too soon. I know quite a few people that'll be happy either way that this game goes, and quite a few people that won't care no matter how this game goes. And honestly, some that should care how this game goes. Because this game does shape two different conferences for next year quite a bit. So, Radical, do you have me on Discord at all? I don't remember if you do or not. Because I know some people got to change Dallas diaper. If Mr. Pfizer wins, the pharmaceutical companies are officially in the pockets of sports too. Um, yeah, I first off, I don't think the pharmaceutical companies need to be in anybody's pocket. They aren't enough people's already. And it's kind of a problem of how many people's pockets they're in. Okay, no problem. I was just wondering because I know it's some people have a problem finding me online chat, but others don't. when you get line chat downloaded, I'll send you a request on that account on the from the main account after stream tonight. And when you get line chat downloaded, first off, make sure you turn on that you're able to be searched by your ID, and then send me your ID in direct message in game, and I will find you, and we will talk from there. But you can also find me on Discord. I'm in Rizzo's groups. I'm in DD's group. I have my own Discord server. But either way, we'll get you into the alliance and get you onto line chat and get you all set up. First time we've had the little account on stream, I think, since we left Iowa, to be truthful with you. I don't remember if I've done anything on it since we left Iowa. The last big push we made was when we pushed for Cav, which the first time we tried, we fell short, but we did end up obviously getting it. And now we're starting the push for Thronebreaker. Just finishing up Act 5 first, so that I can hopefully pull one or two other champions that I don't have at the moment. Or at least don't have as 6 stars, and pick up some of the resources I need to push up the ones that I do just a little bit more, and then we should be more than set to take on the crappiest content in the whole entire game by getting through Act 6 and becoming Thronebreaker. Because I do already have 3 rank 3 6 stars on this account. And then we will have to do it on the other account, and then that one will probably push to Paragon while we push the main to Valiant. Like I said, I'll be starting to do Act 8 on the main account this week, so that I can push out videos on that. I want to go slip over real quick and see what we've gotten so far for ISO on how much closer I am to being able to use a couple of these champions. I want to be able to be used. Well, she's going to eat up all of that and still not be quite ready, but that's fine. She's going to make a big difference. So we are an hour and a half in, and we are over halfway done with the first chapter. So we may not get through all 4 chapters tonight, but we will see how it goes. Some of these are shorter, some of these are longer, so they're going to make a little bit of a difference as far as that goes. But I will be finishing this up so that I can, like I said, do an opening when we start this next. And then immediately start on Act 6 And well, continue on Act 6 because we've got part of it done already, obviously. And then, um, yeah, we're going to push to Thronebreaker this week and push Act 8 and start getting those guides out over the next couple of weeks. We'll start Act 8 this week, and, the guides will take a few weeks to get put together and fully out. Work Wi-Fi is running slow, still downloading. No problem, man. I get how work Wi-Fi can be. Some companies do not understand how important it is to actually pay for their services. So when I call, we used to use Line back in the day. Yeah, I've used Line since my second alliance. Hell, I just started using Discord this last year, um, after starting the channel. Like, don't think I've gotten all the elemental stuff. I see a lot of purpose to Discord, and I do plenty with it. I'm still figuring out a few of the ins and outs on it. Um, but the more that I use Line, the less that I see online that I can't on Discord that I can't do online. The different servers are kind of useful. But I do again. I don't know. I've always just kind of really enjoyed everything I can do online chat. I have everything very organized on there, and I don't know. Um, but I do still like having my Discord for the channel. It does work out well there. Not to mention, on top of that, I like having multiple ways for people to reach out to me, anyways. That way, not everybody has to, the alliance is a little different. As far as the alliance goes, yeah, we're gonna use what I best prefer for the alliance. For the channel, I'd rather everybody be able to come to me in whatever means that they choose. Once you figure out how the chat rooms work, it's better for sure. I mean, I could see it. I don't know. I just haven't seen nearly as much that I think is. Not to mention, on top of that, like some of the, I even some of the biggest streamers I know of that I am on their discords. Their discords are so plain compared to even mine. But that just illustrates how much more has to be put into Discord. I can set up a line chat group in 5 minutes. Oh yeah, it's definitely made for gamers. Though, if half of these games would actually put decent communication in the game, we wouldn't need Discord or line chat or any other of the things. But they expect us to communicate without giving us communication tools. So this is why we end up with our multi-million people community spread out against multiple different ways of communicating, in spite of the fact that we're all playing the exact same game. So have they done the overtime toss yet? Especially considering far too often is that who wins? Mine is the same as account name, but as one word. Okay, gotcha. As a matter of fact, I can fix that real quick. Okay, Radical, I gotcha. And like I said, after I get done with stream and stuff, I will get you all set up and stuff. But I did get you added and sent you a message. So I will get you in game after stream. I do always keep line chat and Discord available on the computer when I'm doing this stuff. Not only so that if the Alliance needs to get a hold of me, but also, for conversations like these where if somebody needs to reach out to me or wants to show me something, I try and make sure that I have availability to at least check it out. And for anybody who's wondering, yes, I realize I'm not playing Herc to its fullest potential or to the proper ways. Honestly, in this content, I don't care. I'm just pummeling through. Excuse me, lady. No one told you could put hands on me. That's how that goes. So how is overtime going? You gotta give it credit though. I love not judging the gameplay and 5 stars like Arena, but worse. Yeah, I get it. 49ers up by 3. I gotta admit that is, going into overtime on the biggest game of the year, like, actually, shows that it's the two teams that most likely should have been there. Chiefs got the ball, touchdown wins. Yep. Well, I mean, I heard please 49ers hold it together. it's a lot more fair to 49ers fans than it is to Chiefs fans. Because, for 49ers fans, or at least those out here on the coast, it's only 7:30 at night right now. Like, cool, it's early. They can still celebrate even if it goes wrong. All right. This could be 10 o'clock at night for a bunch of people in the Midwest. I Half of them got to get up and go to work tomorrow? Ooh. Yeah, I know. The only way it's interesting if I use 5 stars or, do something like what MSD is doing where he's doing 1040 in Florida. Yep. How's it going, Tidy? Nice to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. Hey, no, trust me, I get the Floridian translation there just fine. I know you guys have your own language and stuff. Tiny, this week I will be pushing for um Thronebreaker on this account. If you want to stop in throughout the week and check out how it goes, it might be a bit of a help for you. Not going to be doing the big beefy account. What job you gonna get? Honestly, I'm talking to some marketing agencies at the moment. Might actually go get on with one of the big boys for a bit. See if maybe I can't get one of those nice fat salaries for a little while and make it a lot easier to not only get by but be able to dedicate specific time to the channel, which will make things a lot better. Because yeah, having the ability to work 60 hours a week just to make the bills is technically a good thing. But if we could make more money and do it in less time, Chiefs driving. Susanna, thank you. Appreciate the like. By the way, thank you guys for the 15 likes on stream. But yeah, it's been coming for a while that it was time to step away from this driving job, and I probably should have done it even before I moved out here. Though I don't know that moving out here would have been as easy if I had stepped away from it. Um, so for that, I will say that it has worked out. It did help me get back on my feet for a little while, which that I will always be grateful for. Um, isn't that always the goal? More money for less work. It's time to finally be able to start enjoying the things that I want to enjoy doing and not have to literally try and find time to balance the channel, try and find time to balance life. I'm I pushed for a long time very hardcore to get back to the same spot repeatedly. And it's time to break those patterns and just go get something that puts me closer to where I should have been already, anyways. Yes, sir. That's why I have a supervisor's position. Yeah, I've been in a few supervisors positions, several managers roles. It's I don't mind them whatsoever. Um, but I also know quite often too that I've seen myself and quite a few others actually end up getting screwed by taking those positions because you end up with more work and it doesn't end up being necessarily more. I mean, yeah, you make more per week, but well, you definitely come a long ways from. I appreciate that, man. I've been working on it. And we will get there. We will continue to do better and continue to make things better and continue to build for more. Um, just because the plans change doesn't mean the goals do. Just means we got to adjust how we get to the same spot we were working for the entire time. And I'm always for that. Plus, on top of that, I did spend a lot of money for these degrees. Maybe I could actually make some of it back. I mean, I know I could have definitely taken some different routes and not spent the money I spent and came out well ahead long beforehand. Um, I didn't necessarily have to take on all the debt I have over the years in a lot of ways, and I've always intended on making sure that every bit of it actually gets paid back. But the means by which to do so have not have eluded me at different times. Same goal, just a different kind of grind, sir. Anyways, have a good night. Going to bed. No problem, Tiny. Have a great night. Chiefs are close to winning it all, either double overtime or Chiefs win. Chiefs won. Okay. Well, that's not going to help a lot of the conspiracy theories that they got that close and still somehow won. Um, but it'll be an interesting day tomorrow, that's for sure. Either way, congratulations to a bunch of rich people who just got richer. I don't have to deal with 49ers fans. Sometimes that's the best reason to root for something, so that you don't have to listen to everybody else. No problem, Rizzo. Appreciate you stopping in and thank you for the raid, man. Get a good night's sleep and have a great day at work tomorrow, man. Thank you again, brother. I appreciate you. So we got another one in the books there. See where we go from here. Oh, it's so interesting just sliding through these paths, considering there was a point in time that these paths were actually difficult. And yes, I know part of it is the very stacked roster comparatively to what I had then, but a lot of it too is the fact that they have nerfed the crap out of these levels compared to what they were. Think I have more than enough units with what we'll pick up between hopefully hitting a couple more levels and what we'll pick up from each uh, of the different chapters that we complete to make sure that we have more than enough energy to get all the way through this tonight. Um, so it's going to be a kind of a balance between where we end up at for energy as well as how long it takes us tonight. As I did say, I'm looking at probably about 4 hours tonight to do for the live stream, which puts us just about 2 hours in. Vatlick, nice to see you. How you doing yourself? Um, really just kind of doing a light hangout night tonight, kind of farming up a few extra resources and maybe a couple extra champions because I ended up with some extra time off this week. So since I did, um, we're going to stream this week and we're going to pick up the Thronebreaker title on the smallest account. And then we are also going to be disappointed in the big game. I have a feeling there's going to be people on both sides of that. Um, I've already had a couple people talking in and stop in and talk about the game throughout the evening so far. Um, there was a point in time that I would have been extremely happy to see Kansas City win. These days, I just don't care. Was happy to see the Deadpool trailer, but I didn't have to watch the Super Bowl to see that. I just waited until it hit online. Um, but it looked good. But sorry for your disappointment. I'm a New York Giants fan, but wanted the kid to win. I can get that. Yeah, I grew up as pretty much a Dallas and Denver fan. Um, but because I was in the Midwest at the same time, and Iowa doesn't have a team, so I always thought I should have a Midwest team as well. So in spite the fact of being a Denver fan, I rooted for the Chiefs as well, which a lot of people complained to me about doing, but like I don't care. um, but yeah, after my fantasy football league fell apart several years ago, I really just haven't been as big of a fan of football as I was in my youth. And I just kind of, I couldn't even tell you 100% who's on even teams I cared about. Um, but I also do understand it. And I also did say that, if something comes up this next year where, since I'm now living in the Seattle area, if I should happen to have an opportunity to go to a Seahawks game, especially if it should happen to be like a Seahawks versus the Broncos game, um, I definitely would not turn down the opportunity whatsoever. And I could see that revitalizing my passion for the game again. Mostly just because I know how much fun a live baseball, a live professional baseball game is because I went to several of those as a kid. Um, but I've never been to a professional football game. But I figured the intensity and it would kind of spark something. Especially, like I said, if I was able to go see a team that I already care about, for what it's worth. But yes, I will be live multiple times this week. Pretty much most days this week. I will also be doing videos pretty much every day this week. I'm going to be starting Act 8 on the main account so that we can start pushing towards Valiant soon. I will also probably be streaming a few times this week, pushing for Thronebreaker on this account. And once we get it on this account, then we'll start pushing for Thronebreaker and Paragon on my second account. I will probably do some incursions and some battlegrounds on the main account throughout the week. Uh, we'll definitely be building up enough content to get out Act 8 guides over the next couple months. So stay tuned for those because those will be coming. Um, yeah, I mean, quite a bit going on, and what could have been a downfall, I'm gonna turn into a huge win. Um, I'm applying. I've been applying for the last couple days. I had already started applying before things kind of. Well, and I mean, I haven't been terminated or anything, but I have been suspended. So I can't work for the rest of the week. So we're gonna use it to make it make some good time for the channel and find a better job, anyways. So CJ, nice to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping in. How's it going? Bit late for you, I know. Hopefully you don't have an early class, but I do appreciate the support. Have been pushing quite a bit on the main account over the last week, trying to get a few other things done. So I've got a pretty good opening for tomorrow. We will be searching for Werewolf by Night and hopefully be finally done with that search tomorrow since he is finally in the basic pool. So, first off, I don't have to do featured crystals anymore. But secondly, we also do already have 3 Mystic Abyss Nexuses to try and pull him out of as well. So I'm feeling pretty hyped on the ability that we might just be able to pull him right away, which would be absolutely wonderful after all this time of hunting for him. That is going to make a huge difference, and I'm really excited about that. Really have wanted him to be a centerpiece of the account for a while now. Definitely would love to see him as a 7-star as well, but I know the 6-star is a little bit more so in our available grasp at the moment. So we're going to go with what we can go with for the now. Obviously, I got the 5-star out of the arena in October when we left. But yeah, as much so as I still say there is relevance to 5 stars, especially on an account this size, I do also understand if I'm going to really truly be able to use them in a lot of purposes, I want it minimum the 6-star. So really looking forward to that opening in the morning. I will be waiting until the morning because there will be a few last minute things that I will be taking care of. But like I said, guys, you're gonna see a lot more of my shining face this week than you guys have for a while. We're gonna get back to some of the old school ways of doing things and actually videos and live streams and everything else for a good week and a half at least, while we figure out what we're doing about a new job and really set ourselves up for the long term on this type of stuff, as well as this week and a half hopefully will bring us those last 20 or so subscribers that we need to hit full monetization this week. And then that's another thing that we used to make things better. We'll forewarn you guys right now before we go on to the next path. I am going to take a small bathroom break for a moment. So do plan that that will be coming up, and I appreciate it for those of you who stick with me and bear with while we're doing that. Shouldn't take me more than just a moment or so. But definitely can feel the need to stop in and talk to Miss Nature herself. Hope everybody had a fun and safe evening, no matter if your team or the team you were rooting for or or the team you were rooting against came out how you wanted. Hopefully, everybody had some great food, some great company, and we're able to stay safe. If you are still at a party and somehow still watching me, first off, I appreciate it. But secondly, please do stay safe and don't travel if you're not in condition to do so. I would overwhelmingly hate to see the loss of any members of this community over a good night or any night for that matter. So, okay, like I said, guys, I need just a minute to step away and use the restroom real quick, and then we will continue on and continue to get past knocked out and continue to prep for our push for Thronebreaker this week. So bear with me for just a minute, and I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Just needed a moment, real quick there. So, let's continue on. We have more paths to clear, more rewards to claim, and more prep work to get out of the way. So, like I said, guys, the plan for tonight is to go for about 4 hours. We are a little over 2 hours into the stream, so we're a little over halfway at this point. I appreciate everybody who stopped in, everybody who has showed support, everybody who has hit that like button, everybody who has hung out for any amount of time. I know there is plenty of other things to be doing tonight, and I appreciate that you've chosen some time with me, no matter how much it was. Thank you guys so much. I hope for those who were rooting for the Chiefs that you are much happy. And for those who were rooting for San Francisco, that you are not overwhelmingly disappointed. Um, I will say, from what I've heard, game went into overtime, um, and was really close even in overtime. And I think that makes for a really good game when two teams actually put up some of their best game of the year. So hopefully nobody is too disappointed, and anybody who is happy is happy and safe. Safe. Kiddo, how is it going, my man? Nice to see ya. Appreciate you stopping in. How you been? Rough game. Yeah, I know there's people that's going to be saying that on either side. But I heard it went into overtime, and I gotta say, that's the kind of game I want to see by this point in the year. One that's a blowout in the Super Bowl just makes it feel like one team shouldn't have gotten there. And we've had that many years. Not to rub it into anybody's face, that happens to be a fan of Seattle, but I mean, I do remember the true Super Bowl between Denver and Seattle where, like, it went horrible. And I've seen other games in the past that were even bigger blowouts than those. And I don't know. Personally, I'd much rather have something that comes down to the wire in overtime um, for a big game like that than something that is just a complete blowout. I'm a 49ers born and bred and old enough to remember the wins in the 80s. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember the wins in the 80s, more so appropriately the 90s. The 90s were an interesting time period, that those years where it was pretty much guaranteed that it was going to be either San Francisco or Dallas in the Super Bowl just pretty much every other year. Those were some interesting time periods. I am currently on the account I started after July 4th. Deals were done back before we left Iowa, and I am finishing out 100%ing Act 5. And then this week, because I found out I have extra time off that I wasn't planning for, I'm going to be working on Act 8 for videos on the main account, and I am going to be pushing Thronebreaker on this account. Um, so before I did that, I wanted to farm up a little bit more resources and um, Yeah, so we're finishing up 100% Act 5 at the moment. Not the most exciting content, but rewards wise, absolutely phenomenal for the amount of effort that you put into it compared to, especially compared to Act 6. So I know not the for some people not the most exciting because obviously most of us are well past this point. Um, but on top of that too, I am going to be doing this with some champions that are yeah that was wonderful. Let's see if we can fix that real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Let's make sure it actually did what it's supposed to do. But as I was saying, um, sorry, my cord is acting up all of a sudden. Oh, don't tell me you're not going to do what I want you to do. Okay, bear with me for just a second, guys. I apologize. But I know this is completely not what it's supposed to be at the moment. Okay, we're back. Did you do the lunar stuff on the new account? Great for resources. Yes, I did the lunar stuff on this account, which was part of the reason I decided that it was time to go ahead and push like this. Because um, first off, the lunar event got pushed quite a bit. But even with it, I ended up falling short on having enough resources to fully max out level up, which is on this account at the moment. So I figured if I first off because I have the champions ready now, or at least most of them ready, it was time to go ahead and push Act 6. But grabbing the resources from Act 5 so that I could um, max out level up first sounded like a good idea too. So, plus on top of that too, going into the night, this account was still only level 50, and I figure we should be able to push up at least 55 and get the full. Um, yes, it is a 7-star Thanos, as well as you may have missed the 7-star Moon Dragon as well. Um, so yeah, like I said, it's going to be a little different than going through on the last account that I did all of this with. And it has been requested to see what 7-star Thanos can do to the Grandmaster. So we're probably going to try that out. And normally, 7-star Thanos would not be the biggest champion on an account that I have. But because of the size of all the other champions on this account, yeah, 7-star Thanos is the biggest champion on this account so far. I give me just a second and I will stop and do an account tour after I do this fight for you. It's actually shaping up very nicely, to be truthful with you. So let's take a break real quick and jump over and see where we're at on champions as it is. Um, so, so far on this account, we do have the 2 7 stars, as I said, Thanos and Moondragon. For 6 stars, we have done fairly well. Omega Red right now is my biggest, with Tigra pulling up second place. Got Nebula, Corvus, Falcon, and Photon, Ghost, Spidey 2099, Apocalypse, and Spider-Man Supreme. Some other notables that I do plan on getting pushed up a little bit more are obviously Bishop, Red Mags. Yeah, that's part of what I'm doing with this right now, is trying to push her up some more. Scarlet Witch, obviously, will probably push Gilly up a little bit more. But that's what we have for the 6 stars. 5 stars we've done fairly well at. And anybody that we don't have access to as a 6 so far, I probably have them as a 5. Not too many champions I don't have access to in one way, shape, or form. But resources, because I haven't been overwhelmingly active on this one, have been a little bit more sparse. But that's why, like I said, we're doing this push right here so that we can get her pushed up a little bit more and get a few other people ready to go ahead and push for Thronebreaker, because we are in a good position for it at this point. But as you can see, I'm still 2 away from full milestones on. Yes, this is a free-to-play account. I have not spent a single dime on this account since the day I started it in the middle of July last year. Both of the 7 stars were amazingly lucky. Well, one of them was an amazingly lucky pull out of a banquet crystal, and the other one was getting. No, we didn't even get to the 7-star crystal. No, they were both extremely lucky pulls out of banquet crystals, because this alliance didn't even make it to the free 7-star, and I wasn't focusing on it at that moment because I was trying to get the other account ready for Necropolis. Yeah, on this account, Thanos is OP as can be. He will obviously fall in ranks over time. Definitely, it will not be my rank 3 choice for Valiant. I will tell you that much. I will take Moondragon up over him for sure. But I figure by the time we get to that point, I expect several more 7 stars if I continue this account to that point before we need to worry about whether or not we take Thanos up any further whatsoever. Many 6 stars will be ranked well before he does. He will be a maxed out rank 1 for a long time, but he is a beautiful trophy on such a little account. And probably the most use that you will ever see out of him on a channel. Period. But that's what we're about around here. Not only do we not do perfect gameplay by any means, but occasionally we just throw out some of the most obscure stuff that everybody is like, huh? I mean, you fully expect to see Hercules and Abs Man. You don't expect to see Thanos. It's just not something that you see. Because anyone, most people that have a 7 star, I have literally 47 shards on my mini account. That is an amazing total. Yeah, this account hasn't even gotten to the 10,000 shards to get the reduced cost one yet. So, I mean, we got a lot of potential still. I mean, that's unfortunately one of the downsides to this account is because of the ability to pull champions compared to the ability to get resources to level them. There's definitely a lot more potential on this roster than there is in usability. Because obviously we used whoever we could early on and pushed up as we got, but there's a lot of champions that they started getting pushed up and then got abandoned because there was somebody bigger and better. Which is again some of the downsides to the rapid amount of growth that you can do in this game now compared to what it was even a few years ago. Um, I was talking about it earlier on stream. A great example of it is Jakey. I mean, he went all the way from uncollected to Paragon in just a few months' time, but now he's sitting here waiting on resources and champions to even because yeah, it comes faster, but you still cannot get it any fast enough to actually progress once you hit a certain wall. But we already have one more additional mastery point that we can now add into my workup for this before we go into pushing on Act 6 later this week. If I could pick up a few more tonight, that would be absolutely wonderful. Be able to push out my mastery build pretty well, which would definitely make even, the champions that we do have quite a bit better. So I'm definitely looking forward to that being a benefit for this, which is another reason why, like I said, resource wise, it made sense to go ahead and 100% Act 5 before we pushed on the rest of Act 6. But my next week to 2 weeks will be spent divided between applying for and interviewing for new jobs and the channel. So you guys will get to see more videos again and more regular live streams for at least a minute. I am particularly targeting jobs that will um, not only make sure that it's easier to pay the bills, but also be able to have a stricter schedule around so that I can actually commit very specific schedule to you guys. Um, Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna be pushing actually to get where I want to be. Dee Dee, nice to see you. How's it going, my brother? I'm guessing we're on a break at work. Minos, how's it going? Nice to see ya. Thank you for stopping in. Just on lunch, eating and chilling. Chili chicken sanga from the nice. Always nice when the boss gets you work. Get you food. You got a membership gifted on my channel. Nice. Congratulations on that, miss. I haven't been able to join stream because of timing these days with work. Hey, man, we all understand. Trust me. Dee Dee and I, even more so, understand than most people on being busy. Um, and trust me, he's been a little limited on how much he could join stream himself. So have I. But I'm going to utilize my downtime for however long it takes me to get to finally move on. I technically do not have to move on at this point. I have, like I said, I haven't been released from my job by any means. Mind you, they have temporarily suspended me for something that I have no clue what for. Um, After cutting my wages again, and after not paying me for a couple things that they owe me for. So we I took the writing on the wall, and I had already started looking for another job. I started applying for jobs this last week, hardcore, and I'm going to find something that works better for me. Not only because it will give me the ability to do what I want to do. Yeah, this is the eighth time they had cut my wages in the 3 years I've worked for them. Right after that, there was a couple things I didn't get paid for that I was supposed to, and then I wrote them to find out what was going on. Um, Still have not got one of them resolved. The other one I finally did get resolved. And then I got to work the other day and ran my first order, and then got a text message followed by an email telling me that I was temporarily suspended and was under investigation, and that I was more than I, if I would like to present any kind of defense for myself, I was more than welcome to do so. But at no point in time did they actually tell me what I was being accused of. So I don't know how I'm supposed to defend myself when I don't know what I was accused of. Um, which is cool. I mean, it's interesting. Um, but hey, I mean, I could either get massively upset about the way things are going, or I could just continue with the plan I already had and find a different job. Um, this just means that I have more time for streaming and videos while I'm looking for that job. Does mean finances are going to be a bit tight while looking for that job. A lot tighter than I had planned on them being. But the channel's doing well. I've already applied for a couple marketing firms here in the Seattle area and have had a few other emails even today inquiring about me applying for a couple marketing firms. So I'm hopefully going to get to start doing what I actually want to do, and I'm going to find a job that's going to pay more than what I was making doing this, doing less hours with more benefits, and that doesn't cost me to do my job. So I don't see this as a negative thing. I see this as it's going to be a rough moment for a moment, and then we're going to make things a lot better and push things to new heights and continue on with what we were working on. I would love to do marketing for Kabam. I would 100% love to do marketing for Kabam because they do not do a good enough job. Not downing on the company in any way, shape, or form. But yes, they do need help. Quite a few companies need help with their marketing, including the illustrious GoPuff that I've been working for, who screwed me over. Oh, I know, brother, and I am anxiously waiting. Um, but I also know that you cannot rush things any more than what is possible. And when you're ready, I will be. But until then, I will figure out how to keep the bills paid. But I am 100% on board and in your corner, man. I get it. The markup for the website tomorrow morning. That's awesome. Congratulations, brother. I'm glad to hear it. I'm so excited. Not only for the opportunity that this is presenting both of us, but just how well this is coming together for you. It's I told you when you started talking to me about looking for the place with the misses and stuff. Even when you and the misses first got together, that things are really coming together for you, and this was gonna be a great time period for you, and it's really coming together for you, brother. It really is. Um, we all have to do our struggles before we can have our victories. But I think I think this is really going to be absolutely amazing for the rest of your life. It's always like that. When we down, we will fight to climb up higher. Exactly. I was actually talking to Abdo the other night on stream. Actually, last night I believe it was, and we he was talking about some of the things that he had seen around Seattle when he was a kid, talking about homeless and had talked about a time period when he was in his 20s or so, and seen this homeless guy standing in the gas station, talking about how he was making $1,000 a week, begging on the street corner. And I told Abado how I I've been homeless 8 times in my life. This last time was the 8th, when I got out here. Um, and that, I've been able to pull myself out of it every time. Um, and he was just floored. He couldn't imagine the fact that like somebody had been homeless that many times in their life. Um, and it is what it is. Like every time that I've had a setback, it's been another lesson on how to come back stronger each time. I forgot how much XP is in Act 5. I was going to push my mini to Cavalier, but I don't quite have the right champ mix for Act 6 yet. I think I might need to go your route and 100% Act. It makes a big difference these days, Ken. It really does. There's a ton of XP in here. The rewards for it um, really honestly are way better than they've ever been. Um, and like it really does, it will really benefit you to go ahead and finish this out before you do the major push on Act 6, even on a mini account. So, your perseverance is inspiring. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I mean, it is one of those things I never meant to be inspiring to people by any means. But I am happy that my struggles can at least do that. It's like I said, it's been an interesting journey. I had multiple scholarships when I was a kid, that should have set me up really well. Um, I instead got myself kicked out of school, spending too much time with my ex-wife, and had my first child due to it. Um, Went back to school, years later. Uh, Ran out of money before I could finish my degree the first time. Went back in my 30s, with hopes of saving my house from ending up getting taken away by the state, and instead ended up in a position where my children, I finally got a position where I could get them out of a bad situation. And so instead of spending the money to save the house, I spent it on setting things up for the kids for the amount of time that we had. Um, I lost the house, ended up getting into another place that was where I started my business out of originally. And then shortly after I started that was when I lost everything in a house fire. And that was one of the other times that I was homeless. Um, but there's been a countless number of times that I've had opportunities that sometimes they went well and sometimes they went bad. Sometimes I screwed them up. Sometimes they were out of my control. Um, I've just never been willing to settle. No matter how bad things get, I always believed that more was possible. And so, no matter how bad things got, I just kind of kept pushing. I'm not going to say that it hasn't led to a lot of trauma and a lot of pain, and that I don't struggle with depression, or that I don't have severe issues that occasionally make functioning a little harder. Um, but again, I just kept pushing, no matter how much more got piled on. I mean, I did the exact same thing with this job. Like I said, they've cut our wages 8 times in the amount of time I've been there, and every time they cut our wages, instead of complaining or leaving, or I mean, I complained because, of course, I complained. But instead of throwing a fit or leaving or anything, I just stepped up the number of hours I worked and worked a little bit harder and pushed to make more money and keep things going. And my reward for that was being told that good chatting, Wolf. Gotta take a pup out. Talk to you later if you're still struck. Yeah, I'll be on for a little bit more than about another hour and 15 minutes or so if you want to stop back in, Ken. But yeah, get that pup out. Get him taken care of. Thank you for hanging out. But yeah, guys. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to be an inspiration for anybody, but sometimes that's exactly it. You just got to keep pushing. What you think I'll get from 7 loyalty crystals? Um, every champion in there, hopefully, at least once. I was actually looking at those a little bit earlier, and I already forgot exactly which pool that is. But yeah, I'm gonna be shooting for some of those myself after I open all the tickets and stuff tomorrow. Um, about to open one. Yeah, it's gonna be 7 months of opening them. But at least you're well set. Let me know how that first one goes. I wonder when they're going to change that pool. I do love the idea that there are 7 stars in different areas and some that you can't get from certain places. Um, but I would like to see kind of a rotation to some of those other crystals as well. And I'm sure it's eventually in the works. But we'll see where it does fall over time. My fourth got Void and Mordo 2 times. Well, okay, so first off, Mordo is not horrible by any means. We know that. But getting Void twice is actually great, considering first off, we all know he needs to be awakened, but secondly, he does need to be high sig. But at least getting that awakening out of the way gives you 2 out of the 3 parts to actually making him work. So I don't know that I'd be necessarily disappointed. I can get somewhat the disappointment the first time you pull him, because it does take so much to get him up there. But I think honestly, even if you could get, I wish Void it was more to. Oh, okay, not a problem. Yeah, no, I would love to get Void myself. Mordo twice. That's a little debatable. I have Mordo as a 7 star myself. I don't know that I'd be happy awakening him compared to getting some of the other possibles. So I feel you. Luckily enough, with the 2 7 stars I have on this account so far, there's almost no chance of me awakening them anytime ever, let alone soon. Especially since we definitely won't see any sign of either one of them for a while. So at least I know that my first 7, Howard, ooh. I mean, you could always try what Brian did and try and go do Necropolis with just ducks. I don't advise it, but you could. I mean, you'll get nothing out of it other than if you haven't finished all your pass. Um, yeah, I agree. No thanks. I have no desire for it either. I commend him for doing it. That's just like I commend MSD for doing the blindfold challenge, um, or the fact that I've heard he's doing that he did uh, Winter of Woe with a 4 star and talking about possibly doing it with a 3 or possibly a 2. I don't remember. And again, I commend them. I have no desire to even try. Like if I'm when I do the last 5 paths to Necropolis, I will do it with champions that are designed for it. But my biggest excitement is tomorrow. Because tomorrow, one way or another, we should be adding Werewolf by Night to the main count. And I'm going to be very happy when that happens. And really annoyed if it doesn't. As much prep as I put into trying to pull that 6 star freaking wolf. Yeah. We better get him tomorrow. I was so excited the other day when I noticed he's finally in the basic pool. Wow. Still may be a minute till we see the 7 star, but the 6 star tomorrow, one way or another. Either that or I will be very frustrated with that opening. I figured the 3 mythic nexuses, mythic abyss nexuses, should pretty much guarantee me it. And I'm hoping that's all it takes. Matter of fact, if we could happen to not only get him, but also awaken him in the process, I wouldn't be offended. Hey, look, if I actually spent money on this account and actually had money, which I don't on either account, have meaning I don't spend money on this account and I don't have money, um, I could get the piggy bank again because I've already filled it up like 3 times tonight. Um, which would be wonderful if I actually like I said, had money. B, spent money on this account, which even If I had money, I don't. And see, yeah, that's about it. Most of the deals I see that Kabam puts out are not worth it. That one isn't horrible. I will fully admit, because you do get as many units as you would for the price normally, and then you get the extra add-ons, and those are normally the only times that I think those deals are really worth it. Which path do I? Okay. Dee Dee, are you still in stream, or are you back to work? I'm guessing you're probably done with your lunch and on your way back to work already. But if you are here by any chance, what level is your simp account at? And by level, I mean like number wise, not progression wise. Just curious now that I've got this one up to 51, I'm pushing 52 and possibly 53 or 54 before the end of the stream. We'll see. Although that might be a little bit of a stretch considering I'm only going for about another hour tonight. But like I said, guys, I will be live several more times this week. We will also be getting videos started to be getting out on a regular basis. Um, like I said, I'm not going to be doing a lot outside of either looking for a job or applying or working on the channel for the moment. So you guys actually get me back quite a bit more. So if you were missing me, you'll see me more. If you were happy in my absence, why are you in chat? But for real, like if you were happy in my absence and you're still in chat, I appreciate you so much. Like, thank you. Like, honestly, like if you stop in just to see that you don't like me, like you're still giving me watch hours and stuff, and I appreciate it. So thank you. If you are somebody who actually supports me and actually do like me and my content, thank you as well. I will never be able to thank you guys enough because you guys are why the channel has grown at this point, and we are doing amazing. And I have no worries about what's coming because not only do I know that I'm going to continue to build this, I've got other relationships and things that I'm working on that are going to help build this and other aspects of my life. And on top of that, too, I also can use this in my political campaign and a few other things to be able to go talk to some of these marketing firms and say, hey, look at what I've been able to do without resources. Imagine what I could do with you guys' resources. And I think that makes a great argument. I And if they don't think it's a great argument, I don't really care. I'm still going to find a job that's going to pay me well enough to let me do what I need to do, which is pay the bills, eat good food, and work on the channel more. And those are my first and foremost priorities. So how could I be anything less than happy? I have a following of nearly 1,000 people who actually like I care what happens to in their lives. I care, that have supported me and been there and cared because of what I do. And I don't look at it as, oh my God, look, you guys really like me. I look at it as, you guys don't have to support me, but you guys do. And I am so grateful for that. And it means the world. And I know I'm not the only one. Trust me. I the opportunities and the things that I've watched it open for members of this community over the time that I have been a member of this community, watching Seaton's evolution, watching BG's evolution, seeing Abido get closer every day, becoming such great friends with Dee Dee, and seeing all the opportunities that have presented in his life. You guys do not know how much you make possible and how much it really does prove that this world doesn't have to be what it's been. No problem, Vatlik. Do what you got to do. I'll be here for a moment. You're a good guy and always humble. Mad respect for you, buddy. Thank you, Vatlik. I appreciate that, man. But like I said, yeah, go do whatever you need to do. I'll be on for another hour or so. And as far as being humble, I am, because I realize that it could all be taken away at any moment. Timothy Wayne Thomas, thank you for the subscriber. I appreciate you, man. Matter of fact, we should have an alert on that any second now. Appreciate it. Overwhelmingly, we are getting a lot closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I love it. It is absolutely awesome, and you guys make it possible. And I, again, cannot thank you guys enough. I watch a lot of MCOC content and other content. No problem. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, and welcome to the stream. How are you doing this evening? I'm the same way. Katie Candy is a good friend, and it's awesome. Katie is an amazing member of this community. She definitely inspired me quite a bit. There's what I was waiting on.
Timothy Wayne Thomas subscribed to the channel.
Like I said, yeah, I watched a lot of Katie's videos for a long time early on in playing the game and stuff, and absolutely love what she's done. Her guides were phenomenal. I took definitely some inspiration from her when I did some of mine last year. She, I love Katie overwhelmingly. I've been following her for years. Um, her and Prof and Mama all have been, people that I take a lot from, just because of the fact that they're all people that have done things that I'm trying to do. So I'm glad that she has been an inspiration to you, and I am Era Phone One when I was on her. Nice. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of people for years, long before I ever decided to do the channel. Dork Diggity Dave, Legacy, Brian Grant, um, you know, Seaton, Rich the Man, Katie, Prof, so many of them, and they've all been amazing members of this community that has been what has helped build this community. And I am so happy to find my little corner in it and to even be remotely accounted in the same ranks as some of them. Um, as I was mentioning earlier, I am extremely privileged since moving out here that there is actually a meetup happening at the end of April, April 27th, more precisely, where Abido, the Intoxicated Gamer, has put it together, and myself, Panda Man Pete, and Abido, as well as Zoe the Super Dog, and possibly Brian Grant as well, from what I'm hearing. I know Brian's trying to figure out a couple things with his schedule. Um, are all going to be actually getting together at GameWorks in Seattle to sit around and play the game and hang out with fans of the channels. Um, and I'm planning this year as well that I will be going to Battleground Brawl in Vancouver, because now I only live a couple hours down the road. So hopefully I'll get to meet Karate Mike and some of the others, maybe Seaton, Pepe. Already have worked with Andrew the Rough for a while on a couple projects, and really appreciate his friendship, but would definitely love to get to hang out with him in person as well. So I again, years of this community and people that are inspiring. You know, I watched Seaton go from his bedroom to his parents' pool house to his own place. Watch Prof, get a place with his fiance and be able to take care of his mom. So many people, and I'm not necessarily just saying, becoming financially better because of doing this, but the stories and the lives that I see that we get a chance to touch and that make our lives better is a million times why I really did want to do all of this. And Katie is definitely one of those ones that I think did it as well. I'm in North Carolina. I have been there. It is gorgeous there. First time I ever saw the ocean was in North Carolina. That was way back when I was a freshman in high school. Many, many millennial ago. 42 questing crystals so far. Let's go ahead and rank up a few people, and then we're going to continue on for the next chapter. Like I've been saying, I'm going to go for about another hour tonight, a little less than, but definitely gonna keep pushing through this. And then we will be starting Act 6 on this account this week, pushing for that Thronebreaker title. And then we will well, we'll be continuing because we actually have already started Act 6 some. Um, but then I will also be working on Act 8 videos on the main account. So really excited for those as well. See if we can finally get her. I think we might just have enough. What do we need? So we're gonna have to get a few more things there, but that actually does quite a bit for her. Let's see what we can't do with Corvus here. Part of the goal of tonight was to actually finish level up on this account. Because I was a little shy, well, quite a bit shy of being able to actually maximize that. And yes, I could have pushed up some lower level champions and gotten those points without a problem because I have plenty of them. But with resources being finite, I would much rather push up the champions that I actually need and I'm going to use. So clearing out Act 5 before we do the push for Act 6 made a lot more sense, and it is paying off quite a bit here. As you guys can see, we just got Photon finished and got Corvus pushing up, and we are just shy of that final milestone on level up. So the plan is working. And as we have said about life and many other things, even if the plan starts to not work, we'll just adjust the plan because the goal is still the same. And that's what we do. That is the whole purpose of this channel. We 1% at a time, or as much as we possibly can, just keep improving. We get better a little bit at a time, and we add up the incremental victories until we can see large amounts of change and open up success. And I do that with the channel, I do that with life, and I do that with the game. And every little bit that we push makes things a little better and makes it a little easier to keep going. And if I do nothing else, I hope that somebody hears that message and continues to push. No matter if it's in the game, in life, whatever goal you're trying to achieve, just keep pushing. Because it's going to suck. There's going to be moments. And life will always give you more reasons to give up than they will for you to keep pushing. But it's up to you to take those moments and make them better. And it ain't always going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to be able to cakewalk your way through an entire difficulty and not even think about it. And sometimes you are going to have to use every resource you have and be constantly running out of those resources and wondering if you got enough left in you. And it ain't going to feel like it. But I promise you, you do. If you barrel down, buckle down, take the emotions out of it for a minute, and just push until you get there. It's possible. And that's all we're just going to keep doing. Tonight, we will push through stuff that's going to be really easy. And we'll get through everything without a problem. Even if we do occasionally have to fight out Blackout Group. I mean, occasionally your home gets burnt down and you're all black and charred up and you have no clue where to go. And then a guy with a big old wrecking ball smashes you in the face and you just gotta pick yourself up and keep going anyways. I hate they changed the color of Groot. I don't think they changed the color of Groot. I think it is a massive bug. I think it's the same bug that's causing complete black screens in Incursion right now. Because there is absolutely no other logic of why he is black at the moment. And if they were going to do anything to Groot, it would be actually, reworking his kit so that he didn't suck so much. It wouldn't just be a color change. It's amazing. Thanos doesn't get used for anything whatsoever, and rightfully so. He is not a great champion in this game by any means. But that being said, it's amazing he has some decent utility, in spite the fact that he's not a great champion. And the only reason why he's even viable on this account is because of the fact that I have the 7-star, and compared to even my rank 3 6-stars, he's still the biggest thing on the account. We'll see how much of a role he plays in Act 6 whatsoever. But that's also part of the reason why, like I said, I wanted to finish as much of Act 5 as I could so that I could put together as many resources as possible to level up the 6-stars that I know will actually work to get me through. Wasn't quite for sure how far we'd make it tonight. Obviously, we just cleared out all of Act 5.1, and we're starting to do the push on 5.2. Don't have a lot left to finish up here, but it is going to take a couple more goes at this to finish up even this level. So I don't think we're going to get past Act 5.2 tonight, but at the same time, it is definitely going to put us in a fairly decent position. I'll probably auto run some of it while I'm doing editing tomorrow. And then we will see what I decide to work on tomorrow night. But we will be coming back to this account before the end of the week. and we will definitely be pushing for Thronebreaker throughout the week this week. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, I know it's not as exciting as Valiant or Paragon, but it is also some of the hardest content progression wise that there is. So it should still be fun for sure. And considering my two different goes at the Grandmasters so far, it'll be interesting to see what round 3 against him ends up being like. I will tell you the first time I went through 6.4.6, it took me over 4 hours to do that one level by itself. The Grandmaster being a very decent chunk of that, and took me quite a bit of resources to get through him. When we faced him in Necropolis, I smoked him. I'm not going to say I one-shotted him because obviously I didn't. But definitely was a completely different fight than the first time I ever fought him. So comparing the two different times and then getting ready for a third is going to be interesting in itself. And like I said, I'm very interested to see what this next attempt at him is going to be like. And yeah, so it might be actually quite well worth a watch, to see if we're closer to the first time, closer to the second time, or if we have figured out something and I can actually finally find a way through him without struggling massively. Plus, on top of that, depending on how a few things go, we may actually take Thanos against him just for the fun of it. But I'm not promising that because I'm not really too much about the idea of gimmick play. I'm more so about the idea of accomplishing things. It is long past time to actually give us a 6-star Quake. There's absolutely no excuse for it anymore. And I honestly expect before the end of this year to see either Quake or Magic as a 6-star. If not both. Um, Ascensions really changed the game on that. Like, they can't justify it any longer. And between Ascensions and now having 7 stars, like, the value of Quake and Magic, first off, are nowhere near what they were for a very long time. There are quite well counters for both of them, especially Magic. And yeah, it's just ridiculous and overwhelmingly time for us to get at least one of them, if not both. No, I thought Mystic Combat coming up already. It's part of the reason why I kept choosing Absman. But I guess I was a little short on where that counter was. Oh well. That being said, let's go ahead and use Absman again, because yeah, might as well get the points. Did you get my point, Vern? Probably the most dated thing I've ever said on stream, but you know, hey. Oh, that took way more than it should have. But who cares? Good night, lady. Sorry, guys. If you've never tried to set one of these chairs and stream for hours on end, um, don't. Oh no, I 100% encourage anybody who wants to try and do this. It is a great thing to do, and it is well worth it. It will not be easy by any means. I do advise finding the most comfortable chair that you can possibly find, and then finding out that it will wear out in no time. But that being said, it is still well worth it, and stick with it for as long as it takes, and it will take time. And anything that is worth it always takes time. So don't rush it. Don't get discouraged if you don't end up with 11,000 followers in less time than somebody else who's already put in more time than you. Um, or don't be discouraged if you've been putting several years into it and you are still trying to break that 500 mark like other people I know. There is no timeline that you have to meet other than your own. And as long as you're happy doing it, continue doing it. Just don't judge your matrix off the idea of some arbitrary number that somebody else said you had to hit. Just like with everything, even in the game, like, guys, just because somebody can do a perfect run doesn't mean you have to do a perfect run or else you suck. Okay? Now, if you get through it, I don't care if it was on a perfect run, a crappy run, what it was. I don't care if you used 300 revives or 3 revives to get through content. If you got through it, you got through it and you moved on. Okay? You just regroup, you take the rewards, you better yourself, and you keep pushing. And that's all that matters. Is that keep pushing, guys. It's yeah, maybe every once in a while you got to step back, regroup, figure out a better strategy, but that doesn't mean that you give up. It doesn't mean that just because you're not perfect doesn't mean that you can't accomplish it. And I am a big advocate for the idea of people realizing that they don't have to be perfect. And I know it's not easy because I know there's a lot of things in this world that make you feel like if you're not the best, you don't even exist. But the YouTube sphere has been a great environment for reminding me that that's 100% not the way it goes. Um, I'm obviously not the best player. I'm obviously not the best video producer. You know, I'm not the only person that has guides out by any means, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a space in this. And that doesn't mean that somebody else, even if they were doing similar to what I'm doing, doesn't have a space in this. We all work together. We all help one another. We all root for one another. And we all succeed because there's space for all of us. And that's important to remember. There is always space for all of us. And anybody that tries to tell you different's trying to sell you something. And trust me, after 20 years of working in sales, I know something about selling you something. We're a little wounded here, so I don't know if I'm gonna pull this off with Absman this time. If I don't, not a big deal. I'm only doing it for the Mystic Combat, anyways. And I have plenty of other people still plenty healthy that can guarantee that we finish Psylocke off here. But worth an attempt. Might as well get the points where we can get them. And I definitely am not using resources that I don't have to use just to try and get points in an event that I can easily kick out off a screen. So, and another one in the dust, and we can continue on. Thank you guys very much for the 19 likes on stream tonight. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I know, like I said, obviously it was game night, so I didn't push too much for everybody to come hang out tonight, but I do appreciate those of you who did stop in and hang out for any amount of time. It has been a absolutely wonderful evening, and I do enjoy every chance I get to spend with you guys. Like I said, we will be live multiple times this next week. Plus, on top of that, going to be getting some videos out. We'll be doing a crystal opening video tomorrow, and hopefully finally closing out our hunt for Werewolf by Night. Though I say hopefully, but yeah, I'm pretty determined we're closing that hunt out tomorrow. Finally going to get the recap out for Necropolis, and then we are going to start on pushing Act 8 videos out this week as well. Uh, Obviously, I got to get started on those. We're gonna probably do a live stream of Battlegrounds at some point throughout the week, maybe a couple Battleground streams, because I am pushing for my highest rank yet in Battlegrounds this season. do have a couple challenges out there. Ask to see if I can pull it off. And on top of that, I do have 2 sectors of incursions left to do so that I can get all the rewards out of there. So we may spend some time in incursions this week as well. I know those will be a little bit more exciting than this is. May see if I can't reach out to a couple fellow streamers and maybe do some joint streams on some incursions or something along those lines. Still gonna have to find some time for arena because, well, arena is life, and then we also have to obviously spend a lot of time filling out applications and doing interviews and whatever else that we have to do to open up the next chapter of things. So bear with me a bit, guys. But that being said, like I said, I will still be active and live more this week than I have been for the last couple months, for sure. And this is just the beginning of the next chapter of where we're going to go with things. My first priority in looking for a job is something that will pay me more than what I was making doing the current delivery job while requiring less hours. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Good night, buddy. You need to get some sleep and looking forward to tomorrow's video. No problem. Thank you, Vatlick. Appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful night's sleep, and I look forward to the video tomorrow myself. But yeah, I mean, guys, it's like I said, I have a plan. I'm gonna apply for a few different things this week. Um, Quite a few things actually. I've got a whole list of jobs I got to go through and apply for, and I've got another list that I've got to put together. Um, Also, going to reach out for a few other resources and see what I can make possible this week. So, this will be a good week for us, and it will open up quite a bit of doors and finally make quite a bit possible. And again, I want to thank you guys because honestly, I wouldn't be out here in the position I'm in to even be talking about any of the things I'm talking about. I'd be still in Des Moines scrambling, trying to figure out what the next move was. But because of how much support you guys have given me in this last year, it has made the transition not only possible, but a lot easier. um, and believe me, it wasn't easy in any way, shape, or form getting out here. Many of you know what I went through to get here. Many of you know what I had to give up to get here. Many of you know what I had to do in the first few months of being here. But I've felt for a while that things were getting better, and they have been. And I knew that there was going to be some struggles still. I even knew that this was going to be a hard week. I knew something was coming. Doesn't stop anything, doesn't slow anything down, doesn't change anything. And I'm ready for the next stage of things. This is 100% opening the doors that I needed to get to. And you will see quite a bit more out of me, guys. And I again just want to thank everybody overwhelmingly. So we are looking at an hour and 40 minutes, 3 hours and 40 minutes at this point. I am 3 minutes away from having enough energy to do this last fight for this particular path. I think we're just going to chill, get that last bit of energy, and then probably call it after that. I said we'd be about 4 hours tonight, so this kind of times out just about right. But I want to thank everybody overwhelmingly for hanging out tonight, for all the support. Again, I know this is one of those busier nights where most people have plans, and that is absolutely awesome, and I totally understand. Um, kind of grabbing a few things while I'm waiting on that energy to fill. Probably top off a couple more champions as well. And look at that. We have enough to open 2 5 stars real quick. So why don't we go ahead and do that? And that's actually going to put, if I dupe both of these, it will actually put me in enough to open a 6 star as well. And I duped neither one of them, but Elsa and America Chavez. So that's not bad. I will take both of them, even as 5 stars. And we're still really close on that next 6 stars, so we will have that very soon. Oh, that's the mastery point. I didn't mean to click into that by any means. Let's go ahead and throw a few more resources into Corvus here. See if we can't push up that last little bit of level up that we were working on. And by that point, I should have just enough energy to go fight Hood. We'll do that, and then we will wrap up stream for tonight, guys. And then I will finish the rest of this either through autoplay or through another stream this week. And then we, like I said, we'll be pushing for Thronebreaker. 34 seconds. 34 seconds. We were so close. So close. But yet, just a little bit left. Just gotta wait another few seconds, and then we can do this fight. We're getting there. But we made a lot of progress tonight, guys. Getting ready for that Thronebreaker push. Really excited about that. I'm definitely going to be pushing Act 8 on the main account this week, which is going to be absolutely wonderful and do quite a bit for us. Pushing Thronebreaker over here on this account. Gonna finish that up and then go push Thronebreaker and Paragon on the second account. So, this will be a huge month of growth, not only in game, but hopefully in the channel. Obviously, we are almost at that 1,000 subscriber mark, so anybody who wants to help us hit that would be absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate it overwhelmingly. We are really close, and we will hit that this week, probably with the live streams, as well as we're gonna be looking for a new job. So personal growth, account growth, channel growth. It is a growing period. And there we go, guys. Another path in the books. Put quite a bit more XP on there. We didn't quite hit level 52 like I was planning tonight. Definitely got a few more paths that we got to do in Act 5 so we can finish this up so we can start Act 6 or continue Act 6, however you want to look at it, because we have done a bit in there already. But that puts us at a good spot, and we're definitely not going to make it through another path in the next 15 minutes. So I think we're going to go ahead and call it for tonight, guys. But I do want to thank everybody for all the support, for hanging out, for being part of things tonight. And I welcome you guys back to stop in all week long because I will be live throughout the week all week. We'll also be working on some videos. Just want to thank everybody overwhelmingly for the support. And I think that's going to be it for tonight, guys. But again, thank you all. I love you so much. And I hope that everybody has a lovely day, a lovely night, and pulls a God to your champion soon. And until the next time, peace out.